From the Mapleview Animal Hospital studios, this is the WHTC Morning News with Gary Stevens and Peg McNichol on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
And we welcome you back to the WHTC Morning News for this Wednesday, December the 2nd, the first and third Wednesdays of the month. We set aside some time at this time to get the thoughts of a farm wife. It's the segment A Farm Life with a Farm Wife with author and blogger Diane Loew, and it's presented by Farm Bureau Insurance Markup Agency at 477 Chicago Drive in Holland. Call Mark now for a quote at 396-5728. That's 396-5728 for Farm Bureau Insurance Markup Agency. And we are joined by Hudsonville area dairy farmer Diane Loew, joining us via the Zoom connection from her home this morning. Good morning, Diane. Hope all is well.
Good morning. It is. How are you?
Not too bad. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I'm not certain whether or not you've obeyed what the health experts were saying about limiting family gatherings, or you had a more traditional Thanksgiving.
Well, we had part of our family was out of town visiting family in another state, and then part of our extended family didn't want to come because they were concerned about the COVID. So we were down to just part of our, not as much as what we normally would, but the door was open for anybody who wanted to come. So it was nice. So
was it turkey or was it something different?
Yep, we had turkey and ham and all the fixings. You got to have that. You just can't, go against that, or you'll have a revolt on our hands.
We had chicken this time around, so but it was just only Holly, myself, and my mother-in-law. So and it was her first Thanksgiving without her husband. She was widowed back in June. Mr. Don passed away, and so it was good for us to be there with her.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you were able to do that.
Yeah, we're very good. And of course, I called my mom. Mom called me on Friday because Friday, if my dad was still alive, we lost him 10 years ago. If my dad was still alive, would have been their 69th wedding anniversary on Friday.
Oh, wow. That's another hard one to go past, isn't it?
Yeah, getting close to 70. So it did work out. Oh, well. All right. What's on your mind today, Diane?
Well, I got to thinking about the cost of foods in the grocery store and stuff like that, and how affordable our food is in the United States, and that I don't think the consumers and myself pay attention to that, and we don't understand all that goes into that process. And a lot of times people don't know all the things that us farmers go through to create good quality food for them. And so I just thought I'd tell you about a couple programs that we're involved with and help everybody understand how safe and what a great deal they're getting in their food. We have a program called FARM, and it stands for Farmers Assuring Responsible Management. And that was created by the National Milk Producers Federation with Dairy Management Inc. And that was in response to consumers' concerns about how animals were treated and how things were taken care of. And they wanted to purchase food from places that were well taken care of and ethics were good and things like that. So as part of our co-op where we sell our milk, everybody who is part of that co-op has to go through the farm program. You have no choice. You have to do it or you can't sell your milk there. So I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about what this farm program is all about. There's 4 areas in it. There's animal care, environmental stewardship, antibiotic stewardship, and workforce development. So for the animal care, what happens is they'll come on the farm and you have to open all your records to them. You show them all the records that you've kept track of. You have to document things that you do to keep things going smoothly. For instance, we have to document family and employee continued education. We have standing operating procedures. We have cattle care ethics agreements where they have to sign, and we even get some of the people who come on our farm sign it, that they have read our requirements, no hitting, no harsh, actions with the animals. or with employees, no abuse. And even sometimes we get like people who are delivering things to sign that also. All of our herd health records are shown, all of our drug records are shown, the nutritionist stuff get put out there as far as what we do. And then for the environmental stewardship, we have to show them how we handle the manure, the waste material, all the records. And the antibiotic stewardship is we show them how we keep track of our drugs, where we keep them, how they're labeled, what we do if a cow is sick and is on medication. We have a separate parlor where they get milked and the milk gets dumped. And on our North Farm, we don't have any drugs whatsoever. If we have a cow that gets sick, we bring her back here and we treat her here. So there's absolutely no chance of antibiotics anywhere on that farm. And then the last one was workforce development. And that goes back to the training of the employees. We have constant training. We have refresher courses. We actually send them away to school, to classes sometimes. We try to do a lot to show appreciation to our employees, dropping off donuts, bringing in, food to them and things like that. So all those things are looked at by a third party, and then you get scored on it. And we had ours a couple months ago for our main farm, and last year we had it for our new farm. And they walk through and they look at the animals and make sure that, everything's capiche and everything's good, that the cows that look well and things like that. And we scored excellent on both. And we're very proud of that. And we work very hard to have a place that shows that we care and that we take care of our animals. And, for the most part, most farmers do. Farmers don't benefit by mistreating their animals and not taking care of them at all. And I just thought I'd talk a little bit about that program. So like I said, when people pick up a gallon of milk, they know that behind that gallon of milk is going to be animals that are well taken care of and people who really care about it. And one other program I'm going to talk about is it's MEEP. That's how we pronounce it. It's Michigan Agriculture Environmental Assurance Program. And we applied for that. And we were able to get that a few years ago. And now I think it's every 5 years you have to reapply. So we are reapplying for that. And that's a proactive volunteer program where they will come in and what the whole goal is to prevent or minimize ag pollution problems. So they'll come in and they'll assess everything. And they'll say, you need to do this or you need to do that to have, something a little bit better. And they have it for forest, wetlands, livestock system, farmstead system. And then within the cropping system, they have them for the vegetable growers, greenhouse, fruit growers, nursery, and Christmas farms. And we do the livestock system. And the first time that we did that, they came in and they made suggestions. And we ended up, I think we spent like $20,000 to bring things up to where they wanted it. So whenever you see those signs alongside of the road, you know that somebody has taken the effort to voluntarily say, hey, come on my farm, tell me what we need to do better. And then if they do it, then they'll get that sign. You can't just go down and buy those signs. You have to earn those signs. And there's usually cost involved because you have to do something most of the time to correct or improve. So I just wanted to let people know that when they're out there buying their food and their groceries, that there's a lot of work and a lot of care behind it. And that especially in the United States, we have a very good food supply, very inexpensive and safe.
Now, you mentioned about the safe food and safe handling of the animals. Let's just say the timing was interesting because of the fact of the story that came out yesterday involving Fillmore beef and some of the violations that have come up, and PETA is now asking for investigation as well. According to our wire service story, and I'll just read it to you, the Fillmore beef is allegedly having a cow needed to be stunned multiple times before being killed, and having that type of violation. I know PETA's not, let's just put it this way. We have differing opinions of PETA. I'm not a big fan of theirs as well. And yet, you have to be aware of these ethical treatment of the animals, even in a dairy situation that you are in.
Right. I didn't even hear about that, and not being there, I don't know how that went, but I do know that when you're going to euthanize an animal like a cow, you have to be very specific where you place that bullet or whatever it is that they do. And if that person was careless, that would have been a problem. If the person wasn't trained well, or it was just error on their part, maybe, I wouldn't necessarily jump into the bandwagon that they're a horrible company and they mistreat their animals. But like I said, I wasn't there, and I'm wondering, how did PETA find out about it? I don't think PETA people are standing around outside that, or they're even allowed in there. I'm just wondering how they found out about it.
Well, apparently it's a situation where the U.S. Department of Agriculture had shut down that slaughterhouse, and then PETA is following up on that as well. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's inspectors there all of the time. But yeah, if they were careless or they purposely just randomly just whacked, didn't do it the way they should have, then they should be shut down. And for us farmers, we want them to be responsible and do a good job, because that reflects on us also.
yeah, that's the point I was trying to make, not specifically with Fillmore beef, Diane, but the overall, when a story comes like that, it reflects on the entire agricultural industry. Even in your situation, you're a dairy farmer. Your cows are providing milk. You're not breeding for just slaughter situation, and it does reflect.
Right. And when our cows are done, milking, and it's a business first. People have to understand that this is not a petting zoo. This is a business, but we treat them very well. And when they're done doing the job of providing milk for us, then we do take them to the sale and they do get slaughtered. And that's just part of their life cycle and purpose. But it's not easy. When I have to help load those cows on the trailer and I know they're going to slaughter, it's very difficult. And it's hard. You have to learn how to put this wall up between your feelings and the reality of life. They serve a purpose by providing food for us through milk, through their life. And then when that's done, then they go on and provide food and, other things. They're used for medicines and clothing and things like that. So it's just part of the purpose of what the animal is here for.
Now, of course, if anyone wants to follow a farm wife, how can they do that, Diane?
Farm Wife, A Farm Wife Facebook page, or afarmwife.com. And we're heavily involved with Max on A Farm Wife. Indeed.
Diane Loew, as always, we appreciate you giving us a glimpse of what's going on at the farm with your twice monthly segment of Farm Life with a Farm Wife. We wish you and the family well. We'll probably chat with you one more time before the Christmas holiday.
Yep.
And thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Yep, you bet.
Thank you very much, Diane Loew, on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. A Farm Life with a Farm Wife has been a service of Farm Bureau Insurance Markup Agency, located on Chicago Drive, just west of US 31 in Holland. Call Mark now for a quote at 396-5728. That's 396-5728 for Farm Bureau Insurance Markup Agency.